welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on The Good Life Friday, and we're here to open your mind.
Good life. Good life. In a different lane.
We are here on The Good Life Friday, and we have a little bit of a remix for you today. You know, all week you have been getting to know all of our co-hosts. So today is my day in the hot seat, and I actually gave OT the captain's chair in the studio, so it feels kind of weird because I'm on the side today. I don't know how to act.
I mean, I think whatever chair you sit in, you're the boss of your show.
Okay.
I'm just here to babysit and
That's the question.
well, not babysit, grown woman sit and I said do an interview so people can understand and get to know who the real Eileen Carter is, where she comes from, who she is, and where she's going.
Oh, gosh. Well, before we jump into that, I do have one big announcement, the Color Gallery. If you all, listen on Relationship Tuesday, you all got to know Ursula Rochon this week. She is a wonderful painter and artist, and she does so many great things in the community with the Color Gallery, which really helps underprivileged children. So what has gone on, we have this big media arts camp that we just partnered in. I'm so excited. We have a couple businesses who are already supporting. So I want to announce it today, and we'll be creating a commercial, so you'll be hearing it a lot through the weeks and throughout the entire summer. The Color Gallery presents the Good Life Radio Show Arts Media Camp. It'll be 2 4-week sessions beginning June 6th and in partnership with WBOK 1230 AM. The Color Gallery works to decrease community violence and school age-related crime by providing a creative means of expression by using non-clinical means of art therapy. The media marketing camp will include public speaking, creative writing, radio show production, including show content and research, radio sound production, social media marketing, media arts marketing, social networking, weekly inspirational speakers and mentors, and a clinical psychology support. And their final week will culminate in the students researching, creating, and producing their very own show. And so we will obviously air it right here on The Good Life. I'm really excited about this. So we are looking for individuals and businesses to sponsor a child for these sessions. And guess what, y'all? It's tax deductible. So your official logo will be listed on all print and social media advertising, and you will be included in our radio commercials, and you'll be invited to do a taped interview with our students, and that interview will be posted on her media website. So make sure you go to the Color Gallery, that's thecolorgallery.org, today to sponsor a child or to get some more information about the Media Arts Camp. It's really important for us to invest in our children, and I talk about it all the time. So, I put my money where my mouth is. So that's the Good Life.
Well, that's what the Good Life does. That's what the founder and the creator of the Good Life does. She tries to make sure that, if nothing else, our children and everybody else can have a good life.
Exactly.
It's the beauty of the good life. So, Eileen Carter, how are you today?
I'm nervous.
You know what you should. Well,
I've never been interviewed before.
I've known you since you were since you didn't really know you. So it's interesting to be here. First of all, listen, you're used to interviewing people, sharing information, giving folk access to your guests. Who is Eileen Carter?
Oh gosh, that's such a broad question. Who is Eileen Carter? I will say now, at 37 years old, number one, I'm a woman of God.
Well, we'll go with the now first.
Okay. Yeah. Number one, I'm a woman of God. Number two, I'm a mother. I just want to open people's mind to living differently in the world. Mm-hmm. I just see so much hate and arguing and depression. And I've been through depression, so I can feel people's pain. Like I literally feel it sometimes, and it just saddens me. And I just feel like if we could be a little bit more tolerant of other people and see somebody's perspective, how different our community could be.
So, woman of God, a mom, someone who feels, you feel man and womankind, you feel it.
Yes.
Basically what you're saying, someone who, so as you live, the person you are right now, you kind of feel it as you move along through your daily life.
Yes, definitely.
Well, who was Eileen Carter? Where did she come from? Who is this lady who's known for the good life, making everyone feel good? What was her foundation?
Where did I come from? I came from an amazing family. Literally, my parents, Ken Carter and Gigi, if anyone knows them.
Who's Gigi?
Gwendolyn Carter.
Right.
And they always make fun.
AKA Gigi.
AKA Gigi, grandmother Gwen, because she doesn't want to be called grandmother.
Right.
But my parents are amazing. My parents, in my opinion, have been fixtures in the community. And my father, broke ceilings.
First black assessor?
First black assessor. He broke ceilings when he went to law school at Loyola. And, he's always
from the
been,
first presidents of Black Organization Leadership Development?
Absolutely. He was a president of BOLD. And so I saw this growing up.
Won the chemistry contest as a high school student at Xavier Prep?
My father won was the number one student in physics in the state of Louisiana as a senior. Yes, I grew up with these being your parents, right? And my mom was a jack of all trades.
Your mom actually started the network for the Black Tourism and Travel.
My mom
did. She was one of the founders of that.
It's currently called the Multicultural
Tourism
Network, but it was the Black Tourism Network. Yeah. She started that. So my parents have always been people, they instilled in us to give back to the community. It wasn't enough just to talk the talk. You had to give back. And it's funny because all my friends, when we drive around the city, wherever we are, they're like, how do you know your way around? I have been in so many political campaigns. I know this city up and down, and I am comfortable anywhere I go.
So let's talk about Gigi, a.k.a. grandmother, a.k.a. Gigi, first black assessor, top physics and chemistry student in America, a parent, sister, developer, the other sister, one of the leading elected officials, state senator. But where you guys those humble beginnings, they produce this product we see right now, this dynamic personality.
Yes, well, number one, my parents were proudly from the Callio Project. And, I remember knocking on doors and stomping, especially when my dad first ran for assessor and won by, 26, 28 votes, something like that. So literally every vote counts. And when y'all
beat a dynasty, the Comiskey's.
Exactly, the Comiskey's. And when y'all hear me say,
I was away in college, but I heard about it. Yeah.
When y'all hear about me talking about going out and vote, I know that every vote counts. Because when you win by 20-some votes, y'all, every vote literally counted. And that was the difference between having black representation and, a different, someone that may not have been as immersed in your community.
Versus white representation.
Right.
At that time,
politically correct
there was no other choice. At that time, we only had one choice.
Exactly.
African Americans did not, and were not afforded the opportunity to run for office. So, Gigi and Ken Carter, political background, exceptional family, close. Out of the hood, from the Callio and first in
South Galvez.
In Galvez. How did that shape who you are now?
Wow, we grew up at St. Monica's, and just like you said, my parents instilled in me to give back. And I was in the CYO at St. Monica's. I played softball for St. Monica's. We were in the church. Even Janae Pierre, who's here, I met her in the church. We went to St. Monica's together. That's how I know her, and a lot of other people in the community. Veronica Downs, who's just is making 25 years at 35.
Musician.
And at St. Peter Claver now. These are my roots. That's where I grew up, and I grew up. Well, just to give you a little background, my sisters are really I won't say a lot older than me, but comparatively. Tara.
They're old. They're way older than you. They're way older than you. You don't have to give their names. Just say they're way older.
They're way older than me. Well, Tara's 12 years older than me, and Karen is 9 years older than me. So I kind of grew up with 4 parents. Bless me with that. But Karen was still, right. So, but Tara was like my protector. Like if I did something wrong, I ran in her room and she'd hide me or something and be like, Eileen, you shouldn't have done that. And Karen was always very take care of. She was like another mother. And she handled our CYO at St. Monica's. So, I watched my big sister, take care of all the kids at our church. And so that was inspiring as well. And when they were young, they started, the kids of BOLD. I mean, how many 9-year-olds are doing that type of thing? So that's what they were doing. I was watching them.
Humble beginnings, very prominent family in politics and in culture here in this town. Your sister's one of the few, Tara, one of the few African-American developers.
Right.
Period, in the state or in the region.
And she is so smart, y'all.
Your sister is chair of the state Democratic Party, delivered one of the first ever wins for Democrats in a statewide election that we haven't had in a long time.
Passionate.
Here. So let's talk about that political or action or community-centered upbringing there. What does that mean to you today?
It means everything, honestly. I remember falling asleep on Jackson Avenue underneath the conference table with a pillow and a blanket, where they had the leaders of the community, trying to make decisions to move our community forward, strategizing as to how we can get, create policy that's going to help the black community. And, I'd hear little bits and pieces of all these conversations, and I'm like, I want to do something and I want to give back. And it helped me understand that it's not about you. It's about community, because we can't do anything as individuals. I mean, you can do something, but who wants to be sitting at the top of the hill all by themselves? That's not fun. It's when you bring your entire community forward. That's the good life. That's when you're doing something, when you're bringing somebody else up with you, and not just one, when you're like carrying the load on your back and you're bringing up, multiple people with you. So
Eileen Carter, the who she was, is that woman who grew up in a family that was committed to the city, politics and culture, and activist at St. Monica's Church, the Callio Project, staples in her life. Let's talk about some of the early years, in terms of school and
I know, 'cause you know me,
college and all of those things.
Okay.
What were you interested in?
What was I interested in? That's a very good question. I'll start from, let me go to University Montessori. I went to University Montessori School, and if anyone has the luxury of giving their child a Montessori education, I would definitely do it. It really taught me a lot of independence and doing things on your own. That was one of the things my mom used to always say. I'd come home and be like, no, I don't need your help. I can do it all by myself. But that's the difference in that type of, education. I remember when Aiden went, they did their dishes at 2 and 3 years old. They put their dishes in the sink, and it was a very leadership-oriented type upbringing. And then I went to Holy Name of Jesus. And it was a very different dynamic, because I did have blacks in my class, but you kind of stayed with your track all day, if that makes sense. It was like an ABC track or however they named it. And I was the only black in my track. And when you're little, it's not, I don't want to say it's not that big of a deal, but it kind of comes back, because I did a show on this, and it was a hard show, honestly, because I had to look back at my friends, and most of my friends were a small minority, and that's always how I felt, because the other blacks at my school didn't necessarily take me in.
And what about high school?
High school, I went to Ursuline Academy.
Now, and you were so good at your track, you were accepted into Emory, the Harvard.
I was.
The Harvard of the South.
I was accepted into Emory. Early admittance, I took my ACT one time my junior year. I got a 29. I was like, boom, done. And I never took it again.
I know we're going to take a break here at 15, but when we come back, we're going to continue to talk about the formative years that helped shape. We want to get to where this consultant, business development person, radio personality is. We want people to know the walk to get her to where she is now. After the break.
Tune in to Up to Date here on WBOK 1230 AM. Up to Date is a daily show that covers the day's top events and how they affect you. I'm John Slade, and I'll be your host for Up to Date, airing Monday through Friday at noon on WBOK 1230 AM. Real talk for real times.
Are you satisfied with your current financial position? My name is Kenneth Barnes, President and CEO of KB Enterprises, where we specialize in putting together step-by-step financial action steps for your plan for today and for tomorrow. Whether you're 50 to 85 and need assistance with your final expenses, we have coverage options for every situation. Let us put life back into your finances. Call us today at 504-914-1202. That's 504-914-1202.
Carter Business Development delivers. For businesses to compete, they must have access. Let CBD be your bridge for business development services, radio advertising, social media marketing, Brand Ambassador, Outreach and Access. Contact Carter Business Development at 504-400-7127 or email Eileen at tglradioshow.com. Carter Business Development creates unfolding opportunities. CBD connects the dots from where you are to where you want to be. Join the good life now with Carter Business Development, 504-400-7127. 504-400-7127. As quoted, a man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time. Let CBD save you time and give you access. Call 504-400-7127. 504-400-7127. Take the steps required for access so you can live the good life too with Carter Business Development. That's 504-400-7127.
Hi, I'm Henry Jolly, your relationship expert and nationally certified counselor. Everyone at some point in their life goes through struggles. I am a firm believer that people have the ability to will themselves into good situations, but sometimes they may need some assistance. Being a loving husband, father, and successful businessman while having a passion for the counseling profession has allowed me to gain experience with a variety of these struggles. Let's work together to achieve your individual, family, or marital potential. Come and see me at the New Orleans Growth Center, located at 3712 MacArthur Boulevard on the West Bank in Suite 209. You can reach me at 504-259-8671 or by email, which is henry.jolly@yahoo.com. Thanks for your time, and I'm looking forward to working with you soon.
Gentile Italian Pie is home to the $5 Family Happy Hour. Specials on pizza, wings, and drinks Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Gentile Italian Pie does fresh for the entire family. Salads, pizza, pasta, wings, and oven-baked sandwiches. Gentile Italian Pie offers lunch and dinner in a new, modern atmosphere surrounded by big screen TVs. Dine in or carry out by calling 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. Relax. Have a drink from the fully stocked bar or beer on tap while your order is made from the freshest ingredients. Gentile Italian Pie, 4706 Paris Avenue, is home where everybody knows your name. So bring the family to Paris and Marabout for the $5 Family Happy Hour, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Gentile Italian Pie. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. You gotta try the pie. That's the original Italian pie, located at Paris and Mirabeau in Gentilly.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
When I got hit in a car accident, the insurance company tried to give me less than I knew I deserved. I called Maurice Reed Jr. He got me $150,000.
I'm Maurice Reed Jr. If you got hit in a car accident, call me, 488-HELP.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on The Good Life Friday, and we're here to open your mind.
Good life. Good life. In a
We're having a real remix this morning. I am being interviewed by none other than the O.T. Thomas of the Good Morning Show, and I'm really very excited about today because we're opening your minds to living differently in the world about me. So take it away.
Well, yeah, I think it's just it's a wonderful, compelling story. First of all, it's an honor to be chosen to be able to interview someone who I think comes from one of New Orleans' more prominent families that have made a difference in the lives of others, and so have you, from being engaged in politics in the community. Your work in the church. As an intellectual, you're one of the smartest young people in this city at one time. So let's get back to where we were. Go off to college, Emory, the Harvard of the South.
Yes.
What was that like?
Culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally culture shock. I was a young, I guess, transplantee, because when I left I was 17, so it was like a rock and a hard place.
I had just made 17 when I finished high
really?
school too. Yeah.
And so I did not do the transition very well, like at all. I actually went through a depression after I left, and after my first semester, I was like, and it's funny because I have this conversation with new students going to college. Don't jump into something that you don't, because your eyes are too big.
So what do you say?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in high school, I was on top of everything.
And I want to talk about that at point. We're going to get to lines in a minute. But so what do you say someone who was academically gifted, you tested in gifted area, A-track, first track, Emory, Harvard, any school, MIT, you could have went anywhere you wanted. But that school piece at that time wasn't for you. What do you tell the person who's exceptional, who may be struggling with the same thing, so that it doesn't get them down if they don't fit at that time, or if the school piece at that time isn't them, no matter how brilliant they are?
Never give up. Never give up. And someone going, don't bite off more than you can chew, especially when you're first going away. And be reasonable about your ideas. I thought I was, let me take statistics from a Russian. Let me take all of these macroecon and all of these, junior level classes. And I was a freshman. It was bad decision making.
Well, we'll get back. Coleman Oak, you're on with Eileen, host of The Good Life in OT. Talk to me. Early Bird's even here listening to this interview. What's going on, Oak?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing fine.
Good morning.
Good.
All right. I'm going to say thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Look, Eileen, she really may not remember, but she's like an extended daughter. Her father and I, through the election and Jim Singleton and all that good kind of stuff. And then I was one of the persons that wrote the letter for her mother to get into the tourist business, because you had to be an established person to get recommendations. And she had an office over there on St. Charles Avenue.
Yep. USA
and from
Travel.
time to time, we provided transportation to the children, because I could remember personally bringing one of the daughters home. It was, I think, called a Nightcap. The club was on Louisiana Avenue in Corona. That brought her home, an uptown resident.
So was it Louisiana or was it Washington?
Village, yeah, I'm telling.
Washington.
We as a village, we looked out for each other's children.
Yeah.
And, and I just want to, kind of like share that, because you do things from a distance, but, back in the struggle, and also her mother and Gwen Reedus was good friends with Rita Kitty Campus.
That's right.
Yes.
And our children, went to that school. So, I just say, just throwing it out there, and, when you're of good stock, much is required of you, and, you're on a recovery road of giving something back.
Thank
you.
I
just wanted to encourage you. And with my nephew over there, I had to reach up and slap him sometime to get his head right.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you so much for calling.
I take that. Well, what people don't know, your father, your family, the Coleman family from Coleman Cab has paid the dues from fighting for the rights of African Americans in transportation, permitting to do business, to actually helping rewrite a whole chapter for accountability in the tourism industry. So, we appreciate all your work, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're quite welcome. And we have to bring people to the polls to vote and all that. And I mean free, not just bring them there to charge them. We used to get out, beat the bushes to help provide transportation.
If Coleman would have got paid for all the free rides y'all provide, you'd be a billionaire.
That struggle that the ancestors went through.
Right.
So that's what we need reawakening.
Thank you.
And it means necessary.
Thank you, Papa. We appreciate that.
You're quite welcome.
All right. So, Eileen, what do you? How do you feel when people like that who were part of the, your peers or your mother and father, who were involved in those struggles, and there was a big era of giving back then. So even the kids, you were knocking on doors,
Yes.
you were delivering food, you were working with the elders and seniors. We don't see that very much today.
No, we don't. I mean, honestly, it's very humbling because I have been blessed with exposure. Mm-hmm. And when I say that, on the radio, the only thing that differentiates us is exposure. It's because I was blessed to have it. Mm-hmm. And, to be able to make a call and, be able to reach somebody if somebody's having a problem. I was that friend. If their parents, were having a problem mm-hmm. or whatever, they'd call myself or my parents, and we were able to reach out to the community. But because we were blessed with having those relationships, I think you're supposed to extend them to everyone, mm-hmm. and you should help. I don't think if you have a relationship, you should keep it to yourself. That's what the good life is all about. If I can help you, I'm going to do it.
The good life in those days was giving back to others to make sure that they had a chance at the good.
Exactly.
At the good life. Now let's go back to school. You're supposed to change the world.
Right.
You're an intellectual, high IQ. That wasn't your piece, so what do you tell to those kids out there? Because there's a whole lot of pressure family in the world can put on you when other people have expectations of you, especially if you come from a prominent family where academics is the way to go. Well, we hear this all the time. Go to school. You've been successful, but at that time, that wasn't your time for that.
Wow, no, it wasn't. Be who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be anybody except who you are. People can, and it not just family members. I mean, your family loves you and they want the best for
mm-hmm.
you, and a road that they traveled worked for them. But God gives us all different passions, and He gives us all different purposes. So you have to find the purpose and the path for you. They have billionaires who never finished high school. They have people who have their doctorate's degree mm-hmm. who are broke. So you have to find your passion and your purpose, and when you find it and people say this, but really, y'all, when you get up every day and you would do it for free. Because trust me, when I first started this mm-hmm. radio show, it was a labor of love. And, really, I do it because I'm fulfilled. And I do it because it's my purpose.
504-260-9265. This is O.T. Oliver Thomas interviewing the host of The Good Life, none other than Eileen, Miss Personality Carter, getting to know the host of The Good Life. Now, we're going to get to that passion
okay.
At some point towards the end of the show. But let's talk about you come back home.
Okay, yes.
Involved in the community, right? Everybody thought, you were supposed to come back and save the world through that big brain and as an honest student with all these degrees. That didn't happen, right? What did Eileen Carter then, what did she do?
Blindly try to find my path and
you
my
try
way.
To find your way. That's
yeah, exactly.
Like we all do.
Exactly. And failure, fall down 7 times, get up
mm-hmm.
8. And it is,
mm-hmm.
it's very difficult sometimes. And I will say, growing up in the family that I did, I mean, I love all of them, and they've all, helped me along the way. I wouldn't be where I am without them. But there was some, outside pressure, and, like poor me, and I don't see it. I mean, I don't expect anybody's whatever, but it is like, you're like, oh, this person did this and this person did this. And I don't even just mean my immediate family. I can go on for extended family members. My family, I am blessed that they are all, role models for me. And so I'm like, what am I going to do? And so you look at yourself and you're like, ugh. Mm-hmm. Am I going to be able to meet their standards? But it's not mm-hmm. their standards you have to meet. Mm-hmm. You have to find it within yourself first.
So what were some of your interests back then? Of course, always.
You want to know what I really wanted to do when I first started?
When you first made that trek, you say, hey, look, I know I'm one of the smartest people at this school, but this is not my piece. There's another journey for me. Came back home. What did you do?
I started Well, I guess go back. I was at HRI Properties, and I worked for them for 5 years until the storm. And I got into compliance. I'm kind of anal with numbers and facts and things like that. When your father is an attorney, you kind of just can't help it because they give you the third degree. So I really enjoyed compliance because it was a black and white. And I was able to work with the low to moderate income program at American Canyon at Redemptress at River Garden Properties and a couple different properties throughout the city for HRI. And I enjoyed that because I got to help people see a different path, see a different perspective where they thought they may not be able to live in a certain type of property where they then had that availability, which really changed their lives. And especially for a lot of the single parents, on restricted incomes, those programs were so vital to give people a different life. And I was just blessed that I was able, and I was in the arena to be able to help people, cross that bridge.
Wow, so affordable housing, even
housing,
in major developments back then.
I did affordable housing, and then right back when I got back from the storm, I worked with DHAP, and it was kind of the same thing, helping people, change their lives and go from, a bit of despair, honestly, especially after Katrina, and to see that, there's a different way and I can live. It's just like when you have a school and it's maybe run down, when you put a new coat of paint on it, you feel good just because, you have a new surroundings. And, how if we just open our mind and gave people new surroundings, like, when our public housing, look how our public housing has changed. It gives people pride that you don't drive down the street now and it looks like public housing. It used to look like public housing. It doesn't have that same feel, and I think you just have a different level of pride in yourself. I know I do, for being able to help people, live a different life.
Well, as someone whose family grew up in public housing, your mother and your father,
right,
whose roots are deep in what we call the projects here in New Orleans, and it didn't stop them. It didn't stop your family from freeing itself from those bonds of slavery. Katrina, the area where your family got its roots was under 7, 8, 9 feet, 10 feet of water. What was that like for Eileen Carter? Uptown.
Oh my God.
Central City girl, uptown girl.
I remember. I don't know if y'all know M.R. Venable of the MRV hotels.
MRV,
right.
Strauda, MRV, SR, the Rainbow.
Yes, he was one of my dad's mentors in real estate, and he had always been a family friend. And so I know, we traveled all together after Katrina, and we were looking at the television. Everybody was watching CNN or whatever was on the news, whatever you can get a hold of. And I remember seeing the Paris area, and I knew that was his house. And when I saw his house and I could only see literally the top of it, I was like, oh my gosh, the entire city is really underwater. And then one of my really good friends was John Keller. And then once I, got little tidbits of his story, because he eventually was in
the hero.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
The hero of American Canyon, saving like 300 people. But, he was in San Antonio when he left here, and I got to hear his story, and I was like, we really don't have a city. And I was newly married, been married for a year and a half. Almost 2 years. I had a new baby, 1.5-year-old, and I had my stepson who was 7.5, 8 at the time. Well, 7.5 at the time. So we had just gotten our family together, and I was we had just gotten, and here's the clincher, we had just started a new business at American Can. So I'm just like, our business is flooded.
Right.
Mic drop.
So just like everybody else, it had a profound impact on you personally, professionally, socially, and emotionally.
Oh, Katrina, and I say this for everybody who went through it, especially in your relationships, it either tightened your screws or it loosened them. You just got to see different sides of persons. And, for my relationship, it loosened the screws.
Well, we can talk about how you tighten those screws back up. We're going to break right now. And when we come back, we're talking to the host, Miss Personality, the business development expert, consultant, guru. She does it all. This is OT interviewing Eileen Carter on The Good Life. Those screws are loose, but you
have to tighten them up.
Tighten them back up. We're going to talk about tightening them back up after the break.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
Are you satisfied with your current financial position? My name is Kenneth Barnes, President and CEO of KB Enterprises, where we specialize in putting together step-by-step financial action steps for your plan for today and for tomorrow. Whether you're 50 to 85 and need assistance with your final expenses, we have coverage options for every situation. Let us put life back into your finances. Call us today at 504-914-1202. That's 504-914-1202.
Hi, I'm Henry Jolly, your relationship expert and nationally certified counselor. Everyone at some point in their life goes through struggles. I am a firm believer that people have the ability to will themselves into good situations, but sometimes they may need some assistance. Being a loving husband, father, and successful businessman while having a passion for the counseling profession has allowed me to gain experience with a variety of these struggles. Let's work together to achieve your individual, family, or marital potential. Come and see me at the New Orleans Growth Center, located at 3712 MacArthur Boulevard on the West Bank in Suite 209. You can reach me at 504-259-8671 or by email, which is henry.jolly@yahoo.com. Thanks for your time, and I'm looking forward to working with you soon.
Gentili Italian Pie is home to the $5 Family Happy Hour. Specials on pizza, wings, and drinks Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Gentili Italian Pie does fresh for the entire family. Salads, pizza, pasta, wings, and oven-baked sandwiches. Gentili Italian Pie offers lunch and dinner in a new, modern atmosphere surrounded by big screen TVs. Dine in or carry out by calling 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. Relax. Have a drink from the fully stocked bar or beer on tap while your order is made from the freshest ingredients. Gentili Italian Pie, 4706 Paris Avenue, is home where everybody knows your name. So bring the family to Paris and Marabout for the $5 Family Happy Hour, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Gentili Italian Pie. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. You gotta try the pie. That's the original Italian pie, located at Paris and Marabout in Gentili.
Carter Business Development delivers. For businesses to compete, they must have access. Let CBD be your bridge for business development services, radio advertising, social media marketing, brand ambassador, outreach, and access. Contact Carter Business Development at 504-400-7127 or email Eileen at tglradioshow.com. Carter Business Development creates unfolding opportunities. CBD connects the dots from where you are to where you want to be. Join the good life now with Carter Business Development, 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. As quoted, a man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time. Let CBD save you time and give you access. Call 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. Take the steps required for access so you can live the good life too with Carter Business Development. That's 504-400-7127.
When I got hit in a car accident, the insurance company tried to give me less than I knew I deserved. I called Maurice Reed Jr. He got me $150,000.
I'm Maurice Reed Jr. If you got hit in a car accident, call me, 488-HELP.
WBOK, real talk for real times.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on The Good Life Friday, and we're here to open your mind.
Yes, indeed. Nothing like opening your mind. OT from the Good Morning Show here on WB, the station that makes it okay, 12:30 a.m. Radio 260-9265. We're interviewing. That's such an honor and a privilege to interview someone I've known most of their life, man. I call her one of the top personalities in this town. I've never known her. She may have been through a lot. She may talk about being depressed and all those challenges in life, but I've never known her when she wasn't upbeat, ready to give back, and out there
You can't show everybody.
offering herself to
You do that
take care
inside.
of everybody else. This is OT with an interview, getting to know Miss Personality, the host of The Good Life, Eileen Carter. We talked about those screws being loose. So how did you tighten those screws back up post Katrina?
How did I tighten those screws up? I was like, oh my goodness, I'm a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't get married to get divorced.
So you got married, got a hurricane left, husband left, you're stuck with child, got to tighten up.
Got to tighten up. And it was a struggle at first because I had to get, number one, I had to get my mind right. So when I say that all the
You
time.
come from a traditional family where divorce is not an option.
Like, my parents have been together since they were 16. Literally. They've been married 51 years. Like, I never thought I was going to be divorced. Like, what is that? What are you talking about? So I find myself divorced with, my son, who I absolutely adore. I do not regret anything because he is the reason.
One of the top young athletes in the city right now.
He is. And I am definitely blessed. And, you just support whatever your child is blessed to have, gifts God gives him. So I was blessed with a job at the Louisiana Minority Supplier Development Council. And it was kind of a twofold job because I got to do the business outreach on the minority development side, which handled the MBE certification in the city, or the state, I should say. And I also got to work under the Department of Commerce, the Minority Business Enterprise Center, and I handled their access to markets. And I was able to do that for 2 years. And, we went out of town and got trained in different things. And so I was really able to, number one, I had obviously relationships in the city just due to family extensions, but I was able to get a relationship with the business community, the minority business community, not just in New Orleans, but throughout the entire state. And as well, on the flip side, I then created a relationship with the corporate community, not just in New Orleans, but in the entire state. So with those relationships, I was able to connect people in small businesses to contracts and, bid opportunities and things like that. So with the Business Enterprise Center, I then created access to markets with those relationships. And it came naturally because that's what I did. I mean, since the age of 6, my parents taught me look somebody in the eye and shake their hand. And people can say what they want, but it's one of the most important things that you can do. That's that 2 seconds that people automatically, put you in your box. Your handshake. It's very important. And look people in the eye.
Now, talk about that challenge of working with small businesses. You got those crews. You're tightening them up right now. You've got out of the housing, working with developers to make sure that part of their deals are affordable housing, a family. Now you and your son, but business development, and of course Carter Business Development. You were known for helping people, establish people all over this region. What was that like?
It was a leap of faith, literally. Our grant program was ending at the Minority Business Enterprise Center. And one of my friends, Gian Duran, who is an amazing businesswoman, she was like, Eileen, you can do it. And I was like, huh? She's like, you do it for people every day. Do it for yourself. And so I took a leap of faith. And
Gian Duran, one of the few African Americans in the business, grocery. I mean,
she does the produce,
food and produce,
Harris
business.
Casino. That's like, y'all surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, and she's one of those people I surround myself with because she does the thing. She is an amazing businesswoman. I look at her and I'm like, I want to do that too. And she's encouraging me. I'm like, oh, I can do that. So, a leap of faith. The last day of work, I literally went online to the Secretary of State, gave my little $85, and I was like, oh, I have a business. Okay, let me get some business cards. I did it for everybody else. I was like, I can do it for myself. And so, so many times, which when you ask me what I find in small businesses, we know what we know how to do. I know how to do business development, but it was the back office work of getting it together. And so when our businesses really get a handle on both of those, what a good life we can all live.
Talk about the power of relationships, not personal, but professional relationships. I tell folk all the time, it's not what you know, who you know, it's who knows you.
Right.
Because I know Bill Gates, but he doesn't know me.
Right, exactly.
So when you talk about who you know, especially if the people who make things happen, even with all of your struggles, even with screws being loose, tightening them back up after Katrina, how important is it to have relationships where people know you?
Business is a business of relationships. That's what business is. And it takes somebody 5 to 7 times to touch or feel you in a business-related way before they're going to do business with you. So they need to get an email from you. They need to see your information on social media. They need to have a conversation with someone that referred you. They need to see your business card. They need to see you at an event. It takes 5 to 7 touches before someone will do business with you. So if you know that it takes that many touches, what are you going to do about it? What are you doing with your business? And these days, more people have a phone than a toothbrush in the world. So you have got to get on social media. It has got to be your friend. And you have to have thick skin because all it really takes is one yes, but you're going to get so many no's before that yes. And you just have to keep working at it.
While those screws keep getting tighter and tighter. They may have been loose at one time, but I can feel them tightening up here just in this interview and the work you did, you put in to put them together. What do you tell those folks? Now, we've taken that journey from adolescent to teen to young mother to professional who say, yeah, but it was easy for you. You had a mom and a dad who were established. You have a sister who's a developer, another sister, one of the power brokers in politics in this state. It was easy.
And I don't want this to be a poor me situation, but that is the culmination of what everyone thinks. They think because you have a family of relationships that everything is just, the relationships are given to you. And honestly, I think it's that much harder. It really is that much harder. And it's funny because I had this conversation with, a client I was working with yesterday. It is so much easier for me to ask somebody to do something for someone else than to ask somebody to do something for me. They'll look at me sideways and be like, well, why do you need help? Because I'm a mother raising a 12-year-old. But if I ask them to help another business, that's an easy conversation. So, people just have that misconception, and for whatever reason, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm just going to go knock on more doors.
Well, the girl who people think has everything works hard to make sure that she has what she needs.
You absolutely have to.
Well, 504-260-9265. O.T. Oliver Thomas from the Good Morning Show here on The Good Life, interviewing Miss Personality herself, Eileen Carter. I know how I want to end this piece, but I want to talk right now. We have not that many minutes left to go, but what is your passion today?
My passion today is literally what I talk about every day, open people's mind to living differently in the world. I will say that, everybody has a different journey, but I will say, I think it's been a ways, but my perspective is different. And the way that I look at things and my discernment is on a whole new level, and my relationship with God, oh my gosh, is on a whole new level. And, being open to other people's frame of mind and looking at things with love, compassion, and understanding. Before I'd be maybe quick to give my opinion, now I'm going to actively listen to you.
Safe to say that your faith and having a spiritual foundation a very important part of your life, where you are today?
It's number one. I'm dating. I'm with someone now, but I would not date a man who doesn't have a relationship with God. The end.
Not going to happen.
Not happening at all.
No more worldly.
No, absolutely not.
You got to be yoked.
Absolutely.
504-260-9265. Eileen Carter, New Orleans family, uptown girl, project roots, political roots, business roots, independence. What's your relationship to New Orleans? What does it mean to Miss Personality? City.
You know what this city
good,
really
the bad,
means
and
to
ugly.
me? Being a single mom, I was literally, Aiden was my life. Either I was at work or doing something with him, and he opened my eyes to a different New Orleans because he's been so athletically involved in so many parts, from St. Roch to the Monarchs, the baseball team, with, Harrell for 5 years and, St. Bernard, the Stallions. We've been on so many teams in different parts of the area. I really
Ernest and Carl Gathers, great program.
Yes,
with
exactly.
the
And so, through that,
Dorian Rawls, the
yes,
Monarchs.
exactly. And Coach Derek from
Coach
Uptown
Derek,
and Wimp
no
and
doubt
everybody. Those are the people, in my opinion, who really get to know me. And it's funny because when I'm at a park, they were like, "Oh, Eileen, I thought you were one way," and then they realize they're like, "Oh, my misconception of you." I have a totally different reality of you now.
So when you think about your son,
I'm all about the kids.
And you're all about the kid. Let me tell you. Oh, yeah, he consumes her time. What do you expect of him and want for him?
I want him to be who he is.
Who he is?
I want him to be who he is.
And who is
was
he?
given a blessing to guide him, but he's God's child. And I'm supposed to guide him and teach him values and morals and character and, teach and grow and, bring him to church and, read the Bible and all those types of things. But I don't want to put him in a box. I want him
to be who he is with that guiding hand, though.
Exactly.
Okay.
Respectfully.
Okay.
Honest, trustworthy, and, I want to create an independent, self-sufficient man. Let's be clear. An independent, self-sufficient man. My child cooked for me for the past 2 days and washes his own clothes.
We're taking that walk down this road with Miss Personality, Eileen Carter, host of The Good Life. This is O.T. Oliver Thomas from The Good Morning Show. The privilege to do this interview. Talk about another passion of yours. Why radio?
Why
Media.
radio? Oh, God chose me for this. Due to so many things that have gone on in my life, I feel like I was probably the last one that you thought was going to do it. And isn't that usually who God uses to do something? And so I feel like I'm just a vessel and to be able to deliver this information. And if if you're asked to do something, I'm like, I surrender every day. What do you want me to do? And I just deliver that. And so I hope it comes across because I do it because I really want there to be a different community.
You tighten all those screws up, man. I've seen them one by one through this interview get tightened up.
Yeah, I mean, if we could do things out of love, and this is one of my big things, and I do it now. And even when I have conversation with Aiden, I have to stop myself sometimes. If you're doing anything out of anger, if you're doing anything out of jealousy, think about why you're doing something. If it's not out of love, stop yourself and take a deep breath.
Still a young woman, still extremely viable, businesswoman, great mind, brilliant person. Wonderful personality. What's the future for Eileen Carter?
Ooh, the future for Eileen Carter and The Good Life. I want to grow the radio show to be able to touch hearts internationally. And I also want to do something that helps children. I told you at the beginning of this, I was, partnering with the Color Gallery to be able to help children. So as long as I can help children and grow our community, because that's where it's going to, there are certain minds you can't change just because, they're fixed. And that's okay. Everybody's going to get to their point when they get to that point. I'm not trying to push anything on anybody, but just open your mind and see somebody else's perspective.
So how can people get in touch with you? If it's just for uplifting, public speaking, business development, consulting, how do they reach out to Miss Personality?
You can give me a call at Carter Business Development. It is 504-400-7127. That is 504-400-7127. You can always email me at Eileen, EILEEN, at tglradioshow.com, Eileen at tglradioshow.com. Follow me on all of our social media platforms, The Good Life Radio Show at Facebook, at TGL Radio Show, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn, Eileen Carter. Pick one. I'm actually about to launch our new website soon. I'm really very excited about that. So, of course, you all will be the first ones to know. And, of course, you can always listen here on WBOK, 1230 a.m., 11 a.m., and rebroadcast at 11 p.m. And you can always find me on Spreaker.com at The Good Life Radio Show.
Well, let me say,
I'm
so proud of you because what most people don't understand, when there's more pressure on you, there are more expectations.
Ooh, absolutely. But God doesn't give me anything I can't
And when
handle.
there are more expectations, the margins are usually tighter. So you went through your journey. A couple of screws may have been loose, but you've tightened them up into this wonderful radio personality, a business consultant that you are right now. So on behalf of the Good Morning Show, on behalf of everybody in New Orleans, whoever gave a darn, I can say that we're proud of Miss Personality Eileen Carter. And thank you for allowing me this time to interview you.
Thank you. There's no one I trusted more.
Wow, nothing like the what kind of life?
The good life.
The good life.